let's start the ball rolling. So this is the Beats and Gear podcast episode number 7, and we don't do it super often, but like whenever we feel like it. I'm joined as always by my friend Mehdi, producer and mix and mastering engineer. Is that right?
Yeah, it is. Thanks, bro.
Thank you so much for accepting the invitation to join the Beats and Gear podcast. It's always
As
a
usual,
pleasure,
man.
Yeah, of course, man. It's always a pleasure. It's always a pleasure to have you. And today we're gonna be talking about some iPad stuff because, like I said, I never really use my iPad for making music, so I haven't made any music, even though I have some apps. And you do have some apps, and you have made some music. So this is what we're gonna be talking today, and we're gonna start with a short discussion. I will gladly accept your questions. So everyone who has any questions or comments, maybe definitely comment what your favorite beat making apps are for the iPad, because there are probably apps coming every day, and we just don't know about everything. We're not like I'm not. Do you know Jakob Hack? He's crazy with the iPad. He has the whole channel based around like. Dude is awesome. Like the content is incredible, and I'm nowhere near that with the iPad. But anyways, that's what I wanted to start with. How often, like, do you use your iPad in a serious, to make beats, like seriously, to like for serious production? And I know it can be used. Before anyone jumps and says, "Oh, it's a serious tool," I know it's a serious tool, but like, do you use it often? When do you use it?
Okay, that's a good question. I use it kind of sparingly. Like, I don't use it so often that I would call it my main device. But at the same time, for example, when I go out, I don't want to bring my PC. So what I do is I bring my iPad and some controller, and I can make music. That's kind of amazing for me. Right now I finally switched to the iPhone after a long lifelong journey on Android. And I must say, like, I have the same apps on my phone that I have on the iPad, and that's amazing. Like, I can make music from my phone, from my iPad, which of course is a bit more easy to make music with. The screen is bigger. Basically, that's the only real advantage of an iPad.
And we just need you to buy a MacBook now. Go on.
It's never gonna happen.
We'll see.
Bro. See. Maybe in the future. You never know.
We'll see.
No, but yeah. Basically, I use the iPad as more seriously when, for example, I need to shoot videos outside. I need portability because the laptop is always, battery is a problem, and the iPad is really like the battery lasts forever. And that's a big plus for me, when you go out. I think there are some apps that you cannot find on any neither PC or neither Mac that are really interesting. Like you can do stuff that you're not supposed to do with VSTs, with anything, and those are the most kind of strange apps that can make you make music with the iPad. So yeah, I think it's really valuable. As those, still Ableton is like 10 million times quicker, better, and you have everything, and you know the
exactly. It's first of all, and speaking for myself, I'm kind of I grew up using a mouse. I'm not like if I was like 20 or something, maybe I grew up with a touch device, but I grew up with a mouse. I actually I was in my late 20s when I got my first iPhone. I think it was the iPhone 5 just after it came out. So it's like I was already used to using the mouse, and I'm so much quicker using a mouse and with the touch screen. And in the iPad, I kind of feel the ergonomics, like the comfort is not there for me. First of all, clicking like touching some small details on some small buttons on the screen, that's, I mean, I don't even have fat fingers, but it's still kind of annoying to me. And also with the smaller screen estate, and I know that newer models are just as big as the 13-inch. If I'm not mistaken, the M1 iPad is like 13-inch, right? There's a 13-inch model.
I think so. That's the 11-inch as usual, and the 13-inch.
Yeah, man, and but even then, not enough screen real estate for me. And there is a lot of, actually, in most of the apps, there is too much menu diving for me, and it's not the same as on vintage hardware. You know, like when it like
that's tactile. You know, you have the unit there.
Yeah, being tactile is an advantage, but then with some older samplers, it was like building a ship in a bottle. Like there's just this small display. And with the iPad, it's not that bad, but still too much going into different menus and different pages.
You're actually right with that. I kind of feel the same. Like that's a really bottleneck from you.
Exactly. And in terms of the ergonomics, like I said, if I have it on the table, my back and my neck start hurting. And if I have it on a stand and with a keyboard and a mouse, which we can actually do now, then why do I need an iPad then? Like it's just a PC at this point. So that's why that's why maybe, even though I like the idea of the apps, and I actually, there are some impressive apps in terms of quality, in terms of sounds, I just haven't had the motivation to use them. Like every time I start using an iPad, I'm like, but why am I bothering with this when I can just switch Ableton or Machine and it will be much quicker, much easier. I have all the sounds there already. I don't need to think what I need to import on the iPad. So these are my arguments, kind of arguments against, just explaining why I kind of didn't really use it too much for music. One thing I like though is apps like Touchable, where you can control your Ableton Live session. Like the Touchable Pro, that's like you have like basically like the push to, you have it inside your iPad.
Even more actually. Like
probably
yeah.
Like for €25 or whatever, like €30 or something, you have an amazing controller and it works excellent.
I mean, if you're really a nerd about controllers, you have Touch and Limu. Actually, I think the first Limu was a touch controller, right? And Daft Punk used that in the Live 2007 Live, if I don't remember correctly. So I think those apps are really opening up so many ways of controlling your music software, even hardware. Actually, you can just buy a MIDI, MIDI device and connect it to whatever. For example, another way to use my iPad is connecting it to my DeepMind, which I don't have it here. I have it in the studio, and just controlling the effects. And it's so quick, really quick. If you compare it to using the hardware and just a single knob, and you need to. So
just as a side note, I think on one of our next streams, it would be great if you can show us the Behringer synth, because you have like 3 of them and I've got 0 of them. So that would be amazing.
I should convince you of buying some hardware, right? Some Behringer.
We'll be talking about this.
If I buy a Mac, you're gonna buy a Behringer. That's the
deal. But that's I'm fine because it's much cheaper. I don't have a problem. I don't have a problem with buying that. So we're cool with that, definitely. Spaghetti says I've used the iMachine 2 app. And look, I'm saying iMachine because now I'm starting to pronounce it properly. I used the iMachine app on iPad to come up with some starter ideas that I transferred to Machine. Other than that, I hear Beatmaker 3 app is the shit. Yeah, definitely. I think the beat maker is pretty decent, but we talked yesterday or the day before yesterday with you, and again, the workflow doesn't really, like, too much clicking, or I don't know, doesn't really.
Yeah.
On paper it's excellent, and I bought it with huge excitement, and that's it.
I know it's pretty like Beatmaker. I was pretty excited about Beatmaker, but then it's too big as a program. Like you can do basically everything you can do around with any other DAW in Windows or Mac. But having that on an iPad is kind of limiting you more than catching you out with new ideas. Because for me, iPad should be super limited. Like if I have an app, should do one or two things, and that's it.
I think this is a great point, man. And that's what I've been thinking about. Like, for example, something like the SP404 Mark II. That's why it's cool, man, because it's super limited. Like when you're on the go or making beats on a bench, like we're gonna show in a bit your beat videos, you don't feel like diving too much to, set up the modulation amount of the envelope and to set up the MIDI routing with this and that. Dude, it's not, you don't need this kind of stuff for a portable device, at least for me. And I definitely agree with you that simpler apps such as the Koala Sampler, maybe that's why it's so popular, because it's just boom boom and you've got a beat. It's super quick. So that's why I think it's been incredibly successful, actually.
It's a great app. You must admit, you need to admit that, like
it is, man. Let's show the first beat video. Let's show the first beat video that you did on the iPad on your profile. You maybe not gonna be able to hear it, but people will definitely hear it and see it. So that was super cool, man. Did you actually use what was this controller called? Let's talk a bit about the controllers. This is the Korg.
Which video was that?
It was the first the outdoors video. It was the Korg Nano Key Studio. Is that the full name?
Yes. Okay,
it was the Korg Nano Key Studio. So, do you like this controller? How do you?
I must say,
because a lot of people use it with the iPad. Like everyone uses it with the iPad.
I mean, bro, it's Bluetooth, so you can just flick a button and then it's on, and it connects to my iPad, and I'm ready to go. Like I haven't had anything like that in my music journey. In my studio, even in my studio, I have to open the PC, open Ableton, connect the controller, maybe, flick some button. That's really instantaneous. So for me, that was the best thing. You can go out, maybe build I don't think the project was already made. I was just jamming in Rome. In 2 minutes. Like you just connect the iPad to a speaker, because the iPad fortunately still has the headphone jack, which is amazing. I mean, not the new ones, only the normal iPad. Not even the iPad Air right now has the headphone jack. But yeah, basically you're ready in so quickly that it's really worth it. Like when you are out and you need to shoot videos and you need to go, in different location, you need to move. Imagine, if you had for example, machine and a PC, and then you need the Bluetooth speaker. Okay, how do you connect these three? And imagine moving from one location to the other.
And imagine people seeing you with the machine outside and looking at you. What? Like,
yeah, exactly. And that's no fun.
What is this guy doing? or like maybe trying to get through the airport security and thinking you're a terrorist or something.
Yeah. I remember seeing a video with some people and the modular, back.
Absolutely, but the modular is like, dude, taking a modular to the airport, that's some next level stuff, man. But let's read some of the chats, man. Shout out to Gabriel G. He says, I wish that controller had a pitch mod. Damn, no, it doesn't have a pitch mod, right?
It does actually.
It does, but it's a button.
It's not a button. It's basically you see the strip. It has like kind of a touch area.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and that's your touch strip. That's your pitch well and mod wheel. You can with a button you can use it as a pitch and mod wheel.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. That's super cool.
Mm-hmm. It's not that practical,
but it's not like a proper one. Yeah, that's
no.
That's what the problem is. And Gerard Duan, not sure if I'm pronouncing it right, says, I can't seem to get my native instruments complete control S61 to work with my iPad Pro. I will have a S series keyboard pretty soon, like I told you, so I will test that, but I'm not even sure if it even works with the iPad. And that's kind of the problem. Like neither the machine, I'm sure it doesn't work with the iPad. Like definitely the push, not a chance. So like I already have these things and I want to use them. So for outdoor stuff, for just casually making some beats in a portable manner, it's excellent.
Yeah, I think that's obviously. I don't know if machine the micro is it called micro?
Yeah,
maybe
micro.
Works with the iPad. The thing that most of the people doesn't know is basically you to hook up the iPad, to a controller, you need two things. And one is the USB adapter. It doesn't matter, which one you get. You have the big one, exactly. That's the USB 3 one.
This is the better one. This is the better one because you can plug your power supply in this little thing here.
But that power supply just goes into the iPad.
So it won't power your audio interface. Are you sure? I think I tried it. I think it worked, but don't.
Those audio interfaces works even with the cheaper one, with the smallest one. That's only for charging the iPad. The only thing that works here. Let me try to show the camera.
Is a powered hub? Is that what you're going to be showing us?
Exactly.
Yeah, show it to us.
You can actually use a powered hub. Let me zoom out a little bit more. And that's what I'm using. For example, it's an Anker, pretty cheap device. I don't know if you can see that. And I'm powering that up with a power bank, actually.
Oh, okay.
So it's still pretty portable. You don't need a power bank to power it up. It can be just the power bank. Just the adapter. And the hub, because for some reason the iPad is kind of weird when you connect things only to the adapter and it doesn't work. So for example, if I take my this keyboard, which everybody has, one of these,
the Akai MPK Mini. This is the Mark II. This is the Mark II, and it doesn't have a low power mode as far as I know. But I think the latest one, and again, don't quote me, and maybe someone in the chat can let us know if they have it and if they, because everybody has that totally. But if they've used it with an iPad, because I think when they made the MK3, they should have probably included that feature.
Obviously.
Because like if you're making a small keyboard nowadays, like the iPad is a very, very important compatibility. Yeah. right?
And actually, this keyboard is compatible. You just need the hub. It doesn't
Yeah.
even need to be powered, actually. That's the kind of weird thing.
That's weird, man. So, and I saw that. So it doesn't have the low power mode, but if you connect it through a hub, it works.
I think it's because, I mean, that's a technical limitation of powered hubs and hubs in general. But the iPad is capable of giving the power to these devices. Not all of them. For example, the push doesn't even turn, lights up. It doesn't even lights up. So, but for example, the MPK, it just works because the iPad cannot route the power to the device, but basically the hub can.
Got it.
It's kind of weird.
Yeah, because it's not, because it
it's
doesn't look like a device that needs too much power. It's a super basic controller, so it makes sense.
And the funny thing is the Roland here, the big keyboard, works by just plugging it, and that the small keyboard doesn't.
Yay for Roland. Man, Roland, when they're good, they're great, but when they mess up, they mess up big time.
I love Roland.
Yeah, but you finally got the white A49. I think it's very I think it's great for funk scenes because it's super quick action, right?
and it got the nipple, That's my only request for keyboards.
Got it.
And
so basically
anyway,
any keyboard. So basically any keyboard will work with the iPad, but like maybe complex stuff like the Native Instruments S series, and
maybe it's a problem with the driver. But just try with the hub. If you have a hub in your house, try connecting it to the connection kit. And then you connect your keyboard, even without power supply. Try it.
No, exactly. Hopefully people will be able to try that, but I wouldn't even bother, to be honest, because with an iPad I would want something small, something portable.
I think there's a lot of keyboard actually, Bluetooth ones. Korg made some, even the 61 keys is Bluetooth, and it's battery powered. The CMA X key, they have all the series with 32.
The one that looks like an Apple keyboard, right?
Exactly, that one.
But it's exactly like an Apple keyboard. It's just with
keys,
piano keys. I mean, they're. But yeah, totally.
But it's pretty good action actually. It's like the other Nano Control Studio. Basically, it's kind of the same action, even better.
Should be better, man. But with Korg, the one I would recommend is the Korg Micro Key, not the Nano Key, but the Micro Key, which has
that's the one I was talking about.
Which has the same keys as the Micro Korg XL, and I've got the XL right in front of me. And for mini keys, these are pretty nice, and you get just the keys and the mod wheels, dude. Mod wheels. Off-topic rant, dude. What's going on with these touch strips, man? Like, enough with the touch strips, dude. We want the mod wheels at least. I mean, I know you like the nipple, dude. Give us the mod wheels, man.
I mean, I'll give you two shout out for keyboards that I have. Actually, I have another one which you might not know. Let me get it. So this is the iRig keys.
That's
mini
great.
One?
And that's an excellent keyboard for the iPad because it comes with the lightning cable. If you have the older iPads or the smaller iPads, not the USB-C ones, because with the USB-C ones you can connect pretty much any keyboard. But this one comes, and the keys are not really bad. I've got the 25 key version of that, and the keys, well, they feel plasticky, but they are not too small. I like this one. This is
they're not too bad.
This is a great keyboard for the iPad, and you just plug it and you're good to go. Excellent choice. So it was a great idea to show this one.
And this is the
Nano Key Studio.
The Nano Key Studio.
Yeah, exactly. So let's just sum it up. Recommended keyboards: the Nano Key Studio, the Korg Nano Key Studio, the Korg Micro Key. It comes in all sizes. Like they've got every size you can think of. and the IK multimedia iRig, like every iRig keys, they've got so many sizes. And something that needs to be mentioned about the iRig keys, the newer models, they even have the headphone output, because newer iPhones especially, I think we're never going back to a headphone jack with these, and they're trying to remove it from the iPad. So this is really, really essential. So these keyboards are definitely the Korg ones, and the IK multimedia ones. These are great for mobile usage and for iPads and iPhones.
I mean, for the iPad, I would actually recommend the normal one, because the iPad Pro only have USB-C. iPad Air only has USB, I think it's USB-C too, but it doesn't, neither of them has headphone jacks. So you need an adapter, and then to power the adapter if you want to charge the iPad and your stuff. So it's not really portable at that point. Instead, even with the new iPad, it's called only iPad. It's cool. They have a headphone jack. I think the last one is as powerful as the iPhone 11, if I'm not mistaken, as the same CPU. So it's plenty of power for doing music. I'm making this is the 5th gen iPad, and I cannot run a lot of AUB3. But it's still capable. You can do everything. If you open Koala App, you can do crazy project without crashing. So,
dude, I think the iPad have been more powerful than, like, for example, if you get a laptop like from 2013 or 2014, like iPads are way more powerful than that, and you could make great music with these laptops. So there's no reason to worry about running out of power. But anyways, man, it's been a really cool chat, but let's get on with showing some apps. Let's check out the apps, man. So what apps are you going to be showing us today? What was the first one?
That's actually my do you want to show the video for the Groovebox app?
Oh, we had a couple of videos to show before that. Okay. Thank you for reminding me. I did forget about this. So first of all, I'm going to show the video where you control the playback with the touchable. So just to make it clear for people watching, in this particular beat video, you are only using the iPad to control your Ableton session through touchable, right? No sounds coming from the iPad, and you wanted to show off your K2. Was that correct?
yeah. That was the first time playing with that.
Crazy beat, dude. Insane stuff. And people were commenting about the previous one, saying that beat was delicious. I think if you guys check out Maddie's IG profile and check him out on Spotify, on Apple Music, like if you hear a produced beat from him, like you're gonna be blown away. So definitely, I've put links in the description of the stream to your IG, so people who haven't listened to your work can check it out. But people would only be surprised if they didn't hear your previous work. I'm not surprised at all. And the last beat video we were going to be showing before getting on with apps was the one that you were playing the MPK Mini, right?
Exactly, yeah.
No, this one. Okay. That was a sweet one, man. Super short, because it was probably a reel, but incredibly dope. So you were saying you made this beat with the Groovebox app. Is that correct? So
Yes, exactly.
So what's this app? I've never even downloaded it. I have no
That's
idea.
actually that's my favorite app from to make music on the iPad.
And that's why we're starting with this one, because everybody knows Gadget and Beatmaker, but this one maybe a little bit less known. I don't know. I didn't know about this one.
This is actually an app from Novation, which I think they make two. This one and the other one was the one with samples. I don't really remember the name, but this is more focused on production, so you can actually make your music here. The other one is just loops and chop up loops. So basically what this app has, this is the project from that video. So basically what this app has is a series of modules that you can use. And it's actually, one is for the drums, the other one are basically all synths. This is polyphonic synth, this is made for bass, this is kind of wavetable synth, and this is I don't know how to explain. It's another synth, you have four synths.
It says polyambient. The purple one says polyambient. The green one was mono digital. Mono analog was the next one, and the orange one is polyanalog. And the drum machine, the yellow one is a drum machine. So you basically have the full spectrum of synthesis.
Exactly.
Awesome.
Exactly. To me, he has everything you need for making beats, except for samples. That's the big downside.
So you can't really load your samples. That's
no,
correct.
Exactly. That's the only thing. Sample resampling. That's not something that this app can do.
Question.
Yeah.
Sorry for interrupting, but can you in some way connect it to another app? And this is something that, if you have any idea about this, I would love you to explain, because the thing where you connect one app to another, I don't really know about this.
No, actually with this app you cannot do that, but he has a really cool export section that you can export Ableton Live project. So for me, it was always the case, I just export project on the, to my PC, and that's it. It exports actually MIDI and audio. So if you don't like one synth from here, or the drums, or you wanna, just, I don't know, change the sample.
You can export the MIDI and replace it with some better sounds in your DAW. Cool, man.
Exactly.
So what else do we have in the app?
Okay, so what we have is actually a module that has drums, and you have plenty of when I say plenty, there are plenty, see?
Sorry, but okay, so the app is free and these are in-app purchases, is that correct?
Exactly, but there are a lot of free ones. I just bought some of them, and then a lot of them were free. For example, you have this kind of... Oh, by the way, I have my keyboard attached, so I can play everything with the keys.
How is the latency, dude? I've always had, even though I've never liked the responsiveness of the iPad as much as the MacBook, for example.
To me, it's pretty good.
It's pretty good, but not as good, right? Or is it the same?
Not as good, obviously, not as good as a full laptop with an audio interface.
Exactly.
But to me, that's to be expected. And please never use Bluetooth headphones or Bluetooth speakers.
Oh yeah,
when you do audio.
That's something that we were going to be talking about, but we will talk about it after we check out the app. Yeah, sure, man.
Okay. So basically what you have, I have a synth that I never purchased. So that's what it looked like. So it says "Wipe for more," and you can unlock the full synth.
$6.99.
Exactly, that's a full synth. Or you can just use the presets, and change this.
So you can use the presets for free, is that correct?
Yeah.
Very generous. And
actually. Then you have expansion for that too. And as you can see, they cost €1.
Dude, that looks pretty nice. And the keyboard, like this control surface down on the lower third, is that set to a scale?
You can set it actually on 3, 5, 7 steps or the whole keyboard. And you can choose the scale here, no, here.
Oh,
And the whole project...
It even has the circle of fifths. No, it's not the circle. Nah, it's not the circle.
No, it's not the circle.
It's just all the notes. Okay.
A representation of notes. But anyways, if you change the scale, it changes the whole project. So if you were working on C minor and you change it to F minor, it changes to F minor.
Dude, that's so nice, because one thing I definitely think the iPad is great for is someone just starting out, your first experience with making music. The iPad is great for that, because you don't need to invest a lot of money. And obviously many people will not be good with music theory, so having everything in key makes this experience so much more satisfying.
Actually. I mean, you can play chords with your fingers like that and just keep...
Can you maybe turn up your iPad a bit if it's not turned up?
No, it's the synth that is pretty low.
Okay,
let's... But you know, obviously I'm more like a piano keyboard. I don't know how to play this kind of weird strip, but it's a pretty cool thing. Like you can, let's see if I get some quicker preset. So basically, you see, it's really playable if you want to play like this. So let's get back to the drums.
Sorry to interrupt you just a second. For everybody, for someone who's just joining, we're looking at the Groovebox app by Ampify. Is that was the developer, right?
It's basically by Innovation. Ampify is kind of
their
sub label of Innovation. Yeah.
Awesome. So so what are we looking at now?
So basically what you have here is the drums interface. And as you can see, you have all the drums, which you can play with your fingers or just with a normal MIDI keyboard.
Nice.
The cool thing is you just hook up the keyboard and it works. That's the beauty of the iPad.
Awesome.
Basically, what you have with this kind of drums module, as you can say module, is you can modify the pitch for every drums. So a filter, which can be selected here.
Oh, nice.
You know, as whatever you want. Let's remove it. And then you have a delay and a reverb. And then a distortion plugin, my favorite. Distortion, you're my favorite thing to do.
I know you're a big distortion fanatic. I know.
And basically those orangey kind of boxes are for all the drums. And that's for the single drums. So those purple boxes are for single drums. So if I select the next one,
super nice actually.
Okay,
it actually has a very, very nice control over the drums. Not too much, because like we said, you don't need to get bogged down into detailed tweaking, but still enough to get the sound.
Exactly, like for me, having this kind of interface, which is really, really limited, adds up a lot to what you can do, because you cannot change, for example, the distortion on a single drums, but you can just, and it's a pretty cool distortion actually, I must say.
It sounds lovely, man. Totally.
Yeah. And basically, what you do when you just let's delete the other instruments. When you just want to distort the kick, you create a clip with the kick, and then just duplicate this instrument and create another one. So you know, it's kind of the workflow of old hardware unit. You know, which were pretty limited, but you can just overcome this limitation with really simple tasks. And that lets you explore, new drums. When you open up a second drum rack, which maybe it's something that can be overlooked when you have Ableton with infinite possibilities, But just having to load another drum rack and changing the drums, it's already super inspiring for me because I'm not limited to one single drum rack, and I can explore, other sounds.
So these were basically all your options to load sounds, to edit sounds, but the obvious
you cannot
question.
Load sounds. No, you cannot load sounds if you want to.
Yeah, no, but the obvious question is, how do you actually make beats with that?
Okay. I'll show you like a really simple.
Maybe you can show the project that already has some stuff in it.
Exactly. So this is kind of the project. And pretty cool. If you want to mute it, you just swipe and it's muted.
But don't you have like a timeline or something? Like where
you have here. This is kind of Ableton, timeline. It's the session view basically from Ableton.
So you just have some clips playing.
Exactly. You can duplicate. Now they're muted, but you can duplicate and then, for example, delete this button.
I can work with that. Actually, work with Ableton the same way. I make scenes, duplicate the scene, change stuff, and add stuff.
Those we're gonna show up in the Ableton project actually.
But do you only have 4 tracks, or how many tracks?
No, you can add, I think, whatever you want, but it depends on your iPad.
Super cool. So this is basically it. There is no like linear sequencing. There is no timeline.
Yeah, there is actually. There wasn't in the first version, but right now you have this button.
Oh.
And you have the sequencer, and then right here you can basically write. Let's switch to a different drum track. Otherwise, I'm gonna, remove it. But what a really cool thing is you can hit random. Let's mute all the other instruments. And it's generating new ideas for me. That's kind of amazing for my, And then you can delete stuff. Also, the big, really big thing is you have this default volume. This is for notes, and then you have, you can change the grid, and then you have this really cool thing which is snap input. And on the previous version there wasn't available, but right now you can just either snap to the grid. Or just remove the snapping, and now it's free. So you can make sloppy beats.
Very, very essential for dealer beats. And
exactly.
Basically, for funk and stuff. And so this one looks really nice actually. Do you have any other beats that you want to play before we discuss the Bluetooth latency thing? Just to show off your.
I have this cool one, which is basically using another really cool thing, which is automation.
Oh.
Inside the clips. It's automating the period of the LFO. So that's something you can actually do.
That's dope.
Do I have?
Does it suggest you names like the core gadget? I like how it suggests names, so you don't like. That's a feature that all DAWs should have, man. Like,
you should have, yeah.
Like some random name so that you can save your project and move on with making the beat.
I mean, I'm at the level that I finished all my ideas for names for the beat, to be honest. So
likewise.
Random.
Likewise.
So yeah, what you can do is and you see, this app is really marketed as a techno electronic app that you can do, you know, you can do whatever, but it's pretty, you know, geared towards this kind of electronic music. But still, you know, if you want, you can do whatever you want. There's this kind of old school beat, you know, and that's pretty much it. You can do whatever you want. That's a really really handy feature, which is the ducker, which is the sidechain.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
It's recognizing either the kicks or half bar or you know, the full bar, the four on the floor. And it already knows where the kicks are because those are the kicks.
Right.
So you just, you know, lay down your beats and it's already sidechained if you
That's
want
a
to.
pretty dope feature, man. So yeah, I think this is a very dope app. People should definitely check it out if they want something like a quick sketch pad or something just to quickly make beats on their iPad. And let's move on to the next one, man. What other apps? So you wanted to show us Cubasis or Gadget, or what do you want?
I mean, what I have as those are these ones. So I have GarageBand, which actually is pretty amazing. It's just really slow, but you know, you can do everything. It loads a UV3, it loads you know, every kind of other.
Can you switch to your other camera for a second just to explain what AUV3 is and to talk about the latency just for a second?
Yes, sure. Give me a second.
Bam. So
Okay.
So what was the thing about the Bluetooth headphone latency? What was that?
Yeah. So basically, I tried because I really love the are they called AirPods?
AirPods, yeah.
AirPods, okay. I really love the sound out of these headphones. In fact, I have, you know, my trusty wired.
Boomer, boo.
Right? But I use them to make music on my iPad because they have no latency. And even with Bluetooth 5.0 or something, it's not really made for audio. It's too much. Like it's almost like 100 milliseconds or even more. So it's really unplayable.
But something that we talked about last time, and I was surprised. You said that even with the AirPods Pro, they still have the latency, because I heard that they.
I tried the first gen, I think. So I don't know about the second one.
Okay,
but the
okay.
AirPods were the second gen. So it's the same Bluetooth specification. So.
Does it, like when you watch a video, do you have any annoying sync issues?
No, you don't even feel it. It's just for playing music.
Yeah, for playing music, it needs to be really responsive. Otherwise, like it doesn't work. So yeah, and the AUV3 thing, what was that? I know, but can you explain for the
that's
viewers?
basically what opened up the whole iPad music making thing. Like if it wasn't for AUV3, probably Beatmaker wouldn't exist, Cubasis wouldn't exist, you know, all these apps which relies on external instruments. So basically what you can do with AUV3 is just basically treat your iPad as a DAW, have Cubasis and loads app that you buy from the App Store and use it as modules. So exactly like you load VSTs on Ableton, you load AUV3s on the iPad. And a lot of them are quite familiar because you have the VST counterparts on your PC or Mac. Like, for example, Audio Damage, you have the Rough Rider, which is a famous one. Then you have all the synths from Arturia, for example, from Korg, the M1, which is exactly the same VST that you have on your PC. It's the same. It sounds the same. It's the same VST. And then you have, you know, even better VSTs than your PC, which are the Moog ones. Those are kind of amazing. I think if I need to save anything from Moog, and I would save the UV3s probably, because I use them.
Yeah, I got the Mini Moog Model D, and it works like that. It actually sounds very, very nice. I agree. And another one that I think is worth mentioning, I think these guys are doing a great job, and I don't know if you're familiar with that. Do you know the Audio Kit Pro Synth 1?
Yeah,
sure.
Sure, sure.
This
I
one
have
is
it actually.
this one is completely free, and it's a very versatile synth. Sounds pretty decent, and it has some great presets actually. It's very deep, and yeah, I think they did amazing job with that, with the idea just to basically have a synth on, like, basically everyone can have a synth with this one, like super
Yeah, yeah.
accessible and super.
And there are some people that are basically using that app to make other apps.
Exactly, it's an open source thing. It's an
It's
open
an open
source thing,
source, yeah.
which is great. And I think this app was featured on some like mainstream media, like Engadget and stuff, which is really great for, attracting,
Visibility, yeah.
attracting more people to the music production community, because you just try this up, and next thing you know, you're hooked, and you start buying gear, and all of a sudden, you're making music. So
I
it's a
think
great.
the last thing Engadget showed actually to the world was the SP MK2. So.
Yeah, exactly. I think it's great that music making tools are getting some mainstream coverage, because after all, I think it's great that more people are trying to to make music as a creative endeavor, not necessarily professionally. Like
There's one point that we didn't talk about in the beginning. So why to use an iPad instead of a PC? That's because it's pretty much what you're gonna have in your house probably already. It's like your iPhone, and it doesn't mean you're gonna have a MacBook with a super fast processor. But still, you can make music on the iPad, and you don't need an audio interface, some expensive speakers. You just use your headphones, your iPad, and maybe buy something like this thing. And that's it. You have a music station at your house.
Yeah, it's great because you don't need to buy expensive software. Everything is free or very cheap. And if it turns out you're not into it, you
return it actually.
I mean, you haven't lost any money. Like most apps cost, I don't know, as much as
€10, €20 maximum.
Exactly. Like I think everything in the €20 realm or above is kind of on the expensive side.
Yeah.
Kind of.
I mean, if you buy car gadget for €20, you have like what, 10 cents a door, everything. Like,
and the same thing on desktop costs as much as Ableton
300
or something like that.
Yeah.
Which is a huge difference actually, and it's a very compelling reason to maybe even integrate your iPad with your DAW setup. But then again, it's not like I never think about this. I just load up the VSTs and play. So I don't know.
And there's a good tip for the people if they want to try an app on the iPad or on iOS in general. You can just buy the app, use it for as long as 14 days. And then if you don't like it, just return it. You have reporttheproblem.apple.com or something.
I didn't know about this, man. That's great.
You can just return it. That's what I do when I want to try stuff on the iPad. Obviously, you cannot buy it 2 times and return it 2 times. That's kind of, kind of piracy stuff. But yeah, you can try it. At least you can try it. If you have like a $20 app that you want to buy, try it and then return it if you don't like it. You want to try BeatMaker, do that.
Actually, that's a great point, man. It makes total sense because there is no way to obtain a demo of the app. So you can't, like, it's one thing to watch a video, but you need to try it for yourself to see.
Yeah. Usually the demo app for the iPad is basically they gave you the app for free and then they have in-app purchase. That's kind of the demo version on the iPad. So, like Groovebox is free.
Exactly. I think this model is very popular with the developers. Totally, man. Let's check out some more apps, man. Before we go, we've been live for an hour, by the way. Like, time runs fast,
already,
dude.
man. We should go, man. Let's run. Okay, so what do you have? So what I was saying is I have those are my DAWs. I'm pretty OCD with my stuff, so everything is in its own folder. So I have Cubasis, Gadget, Groovebox, Beatmaker, and then GarageBand.
And since everybody knows Beatmaker, let's maybe have a look at Cubasis before first.
Okay. So you wanted to go with Cubasis?
Yeah, because I know that do you have some projects that you can...
Okay, unfortunately, I just backed up the iPad and I exported all my project through Ableton. So
Never
now
mind.
I have my project.
Just give us a quick brief of what it does versus maybe the desktop app, as much as you know, obviously, because you
basically it's, yeah, I don't know. I mean, I use Cubase for 2 days probably and then return it. But pretty much you have audio, MIDI, instruments, and you can load your project here. Then you have, 2 different ways of controlling stuff. So you have your pads and you have, your keyboard, whatever. Then you have the mixer, which you can load effects. And that's really cool. You have your channel strip and blah, blah, blah. So it's pretty much like a normal DAW.
So let me let me just start something here. So basically, as far as I can tell, the previous one and the name is pretty self-explanatory. It was just a Groovebox, right?
Yeah,
right. Exactly. It was just something simple to create ideas. While this one
is a full DAW.
Is a full DAW in your iPad with maybe similar capabilities to a desktop app. Obviously, maybe not similar to the actual Cubase because it's like super heavy on the features. But this one...
I don't want to say it's limited, by the way. You can do everything. You have automation, you can chop up clips, you can do whatever. You have routing, like you can select which MIDI device goes on which track. You can select VSTs from here. Cool. Audio units, we were saying audio units, for example. I have these ones.
Oh, yeah.
And you can load Basilicious, for example, on Chomplr.
Oh, which is, Chomplr. I think it's one that's worth talking about. It's by MSX Audio, right?
It's amazing. Like it's basically a chopping app that you can use on every DAW that you have on your iPad. So you don't rely to the chopping capabilities of the app.
And not only that, it actually provides you with content, right? You can purchase samples.
That's my personal opinion. I think those MSX Audio are one of the best in their game, doing samples.
Definitely.
To me, they all of them are super high quality. And you can buy their stuff.
Now maybe you need to turn it down a bit because it's kind of clipping, yeah.
Is it good?
Yep, great.
Then you have drums. Then you have, for example, Vox and effects. Stay in your lane. And then you can actually import your stuff if you want to.
Oh, you can you? That's great. That's great. I thought it was basically their way to make it easy to purchase their content. I didn't know you could actually import your own sound as well.
I mean, it is so easy to buy their content that, it's super cool. You need to open the standalone app. And I think their stuff sounds amazing, so why not buy their stuff?
Definitely.
You have your synthesis, same way, whatever. But let's try it. Let's load this one. Let's go out. And then you can play with the keys.
Also, it's already chopped, right? Is that correct?
Exactly.
So it's already chopped in a way that... Just like they've done everything for you. You just
exactly. It's already chopped. Like you can see, there's some chop shop kind of way of chopping your stuff, and it's super quick. That's what I like about this app.
This is super nice.
And you can actually play it polyphonically or chromatically or everything. Oh, and that's kind of amazing because you can even sample. Okay, let's say a saw. So I'm kind of playing, a sample with my keys. So imagine bringing your own sample and playing that as a sound wave, basically.
I actually
That
like
could be cool too.
I actually like how simple this is, man. And for someone in just starting out with music, it basically gives you all the essential stuff to.
Exactly.
Yeah, you can play it
And you even
chromatically.
have effects, actually. Echo.
Very nice.
See how simple is that app? It's amazing.
Totally,
And
man.
actually, they make. So let's see how you can insert effects here. For example, they have some channel strips already, but you can use your own audio units.
This
And
one has
basically,
some SSL vibe to it.
yeah,
right?
yeah. I mean, it's kind of sounds pretty bad to me, but yeah.
But you're a snob. But you're a snob, so.
Exactly. So I'm not. It's cool. It's an EQ and the compressor that kind of works.
Exactly.
This is the kind of my favorite plugin for iOS. It's basically a distortion unit, and it kind of morphs into lo-fi. Has noise in it, and you can. Has all the types of distortion, in it. So
I think this one is a lo-fi plugin all in one, right? You have the beat crushing, the filtering, and I think it's a wordplay with Flying Lotus. It's like fly low, but the other way around.
Yeah. I mean, they're pretty into Flying Lotus, so probably, I never thought about that. Great, man.
Yeah, I think that's what it is, man.
So by the way, you have all your effects. You have even tape cassette, which I think it's a VST2, which is kind of a tape thing. Rough Rider, which I was talking about, it's a super cool compressor. Those are your AUB3. Those are actually in your iPad, and you can find it in your music apps. And for example, these ones.
So what do you mean these are in your iPad? You didn't install them?
Yeah, you install them, and they actually an app, so you can see, and they can access your microphone, whatever. But then you can use it inside your DAW, which is the cool thing.
Mm-hmm.
And that's when it really shines. As an effect. Why do you need to open an app just for using a compressor? So you just open it as a module inside a DAW.
Absolutely, and yeah. I just saw the Koala Sampler, and what I saw recently is that it's actually an AUV3, but you've already bought it, as far as I can tell.
Yeah. I mean, I bought everything by him. But what you can do with this is, oh wow, it didn't register. Okay, I bought it on the iPhone. But anyways,
so you can't open it here?
Not right now. I need to it's weird when you buy stuff on your iPhone, then it doesn't transfer for what.
No worries. I think looking at it on the full screen, it actually gives us a much better.
Exactly. So this is the app. Actually, they made an effect version of this, which is only this page, but you can use it inside any DAW. So that's pretty cool. And then this is basically the app. It's pretty familiar for you probably because it's exactly like the SP44. But with more stuff, So you have a sequencer, which kind of worked for the SP, but not really.
It's actually what the SP404 should have been, and I think they saw this up and implemented some stuff on the new one. That's the feeling I get, because at some point, especially with SP404 users, this app is incredibly popular. And one thing I've noticed that people do with this one is just record sounds with the microphone, just quick and dirty, and sequence them, right?
Yeah. I mean, what I really like to do is let's start with some beatbox, really simple. It's pretty cool. And then what you can do, the best thing of this app, is resample from app. So you just go to perform. You just, I'm using my keyboard to trigger the sample. and you put old. And then you click another pad.
Oh, and it was so easy. Wow. I mean, super
Then you
quick.
see.
Dude,
Then let's see for the clap, for example. Let's
but
make
unlike the SP, you can have multiple effects at the same time.
Exactly. It's pretty cool for that reason. Okay. Let's remove the effects, and now you have. Chop it. No, it's already made.
Awesome,
it's a
man.
bit.
Awesome,
The
man.
best thing that you can do with this app is I'm using my sample managing app. Basically, if you want to, you can.
Can you mention the name?
Yeah, it's called Audio Share.
Cool.
Okay, and what you can do is actually pick samples. I don't know. Let's try. Let's see some loops. Well, let's export it like it's cool too. You just can copy. I think you can paste it. No. So I think we need to go with audio paste.
Mm-hmm.
Oh no, you have the import audio actually. I don't know. I used that last time. I don't know why it doesn't work. But yeah. Oh, okay, it works. Import into app. And we did it. So what you can do now with this app is just chop it with auto chop. And you can do it's kind of Ableton. So you can do it in transient, equal, or lazy, which you're gonna do that. You know,
Just
stuff.
while you're doing this, just to update, because some new people joined the stream, we're looking at the Koala Sampler app. Yep.
So basically what you can do right now is choose the number of chops. So you can do 8 to be, pretty musical. And we can put the choke group. Let's put it at 2. And you can say one shot or playthrough. So one shot is gonna play till the end, and if not, it's gonna just stop when you release.
It's very similar to how Simpler in Ableton Live works. And they've chosen very because when you wanna make such a simple app, you need to choose carefully what features to add, and this is really cool.
So you have all your stuff. You can pitch them. Let's see. I'm recording something really simple, but yeah, basically you have your BPM. Oh, let's see. You can actually.
Oh, but you have like a MIDI editor?
Yeah, you have a pretty simple, sequencer. I'm gonna explain another thing in a bit, but basically what you can do is just. And it's pretty much done. Now, what you can do is actually record a single note on the pads. So, let's go to. It didn't work.
I don't think it will work when you have the cable plugged to your mic. I don't think it works like that.
No, it's working. It's working. It's recognizing that it's not a microphone.
Does it?
Okay, pretty stupid, right? Okay.
It's great, man. Awesome.
What you can do here is just loop it. And now you have a note. What you can do right now is go to sequence, then click this icon, and then it blinks, and then you choose your sample.
And you can play it chromatically? So wait, you can play it chromatically and record the MIDI chromatically, like basically.
Exactly.
And do it like
That's
that.
what you wanted on the SP.
But dude, like with the SP404 Mark II, you still can't do that. I'm not complaining, it's dope, but you still.
No, I think you can do that, but it's not.
Now you need
It's
to.
not polyphonic.
Now you need to resample your notes to sequence them. You can't just play it.
See, you can play it.
And you even almost got it in tune, man. Because like when you loop a short region of a sample without a tuner, it's kind of hard to get a good note.
Yeah.
But you almost got it. Like that was impressive.
Bro, I'm just really going freestyle here. But
I know. I'm just saying for people who are watching that when you use this technique. You need to have a tuner. Well, like with a tuner, it's super easy actually, but without a tuner, that is very, very difficult.
And you go by ear, but it's never precise. But anyways, what you have here, which is really cool, is you can crop it, normalize it, auto chop it, which we already saw, and then what they added is that you can stretch it. So basically what you have right here, it's a stretch of the sample, which wasn't even possible on the previous version. So you can make this part last for whatever 1 bar is a bit too much, but let's try 1 bit.
Super nice, man.
Why it's not working? Let's try this sample. It's a bit more musical.
Yeah, definitely would work better.
Yeah. So basically you can stretch it. And this lasts 1 bar, right? If you want to make it 2 bits. Or like 2 bars, even, it's cool. And it's not too bad as an algorithm, to stretch it. Then you have retro, which is kind of grainy. Then you have beats, which is the same as Ableton.
So you even have the algorithms, man, dude. But that's
repitch.
But that's much. Actually, this app is deeper than I expected, or deeper than what I've seen. Maybe it was updated. I don't know, but
yeah, it is. It was updated. So basically, right now you have everything. You can export whatever you want. Ableton Live set. And you even have a little Easter egg that you can get Ableton Live Lite for free on this app, which is super cool. And you can export current sample, all sequences, share Koala song, and basically you can share the sample set. So you make sample with the app, just record, resample, and make sample. That's pretty cool.
That's so good, man. That's a great app. I think we should definitely make at some point like a part 2 of this stream where we go. Maybe more in depth with this app, or maybe explore the other ones, because we won't have the time today to get into Gadget, into the beat maker. But I think these ones were really great, and it was actually even better because they are not obviously the most well-known one. Although with the beat making community, I think the Koala Sampler is pretty.
And for a good reason, right?
Well
you can even import, for example, a really cool thing is you can import videos. So you can just record videos from whatever you want, and just screen record the iPad.
That's what I was gonna ask you, man. Like, how do you sample? So you can actually screen record a YouTube video, import the video,
and then it's gonna take care of it.
But it only shows the sound in the app, right? But that's plenty. That's super nice, man. I think this app is one of the best I've seen, honestly. I don't think adding more stuff into an app makes it better, makes it necessarily
it's already limitless. For example, I'll show you the last thing I really like to do is basically open an app like Animoog, which is one of the synth, you know, that I was showing.
I've got this one. It's super nice. It sounds excellent.
Yeah, it is actually one of the best app, I think, for the iPad. And then you can just
like
then you stop the video.
semi MPE capabilities with this one.
Exactly, it's pretty cool. But yeah, I didn't want to show that kind of app. Let's discard changes, whatever. And then you can import the video.
Huh. And that's like a workaround, man, because it would have been better to be able to actually, but it's still super nice. I like this one very much.
See? Now you have the thing here. It's pretty simple. So you're not limited only to sampling YouTube, whatever, you know. You just can do your own samples in whatever app you want.
Definitely, man. I think this one is a must-have app, and it's pretty cheap, right? I think it was
it's for €4 or something.
Yeah. Not even worth returning if you don't like it. But I think it's pretty great to have, like, maybe if you're traveling or if you want to kill some time at, I don't know.
It's on Android too, actually, if you want to know that.
Something that needs to be mentioned here, man. Before we go, a lot of people wonder why there are no apps. Like, the apps on Android are like the difference with the availability is so huge.
The problem with Android is the audio driver, not even the Pixel like address that problem.
The latency.
So
it's unusable.
It's the latency, is the quality of audio, internal recording is pretty lame. So they have a lot of limitation as a you know, Android didn't really you know, wasn't born for audio.
Yeah, and there's this other thing. I think the two biggest factors are latency, as you mentioned, and the other one is device fragmentation.
Man, this is
because like the iPhones and iPads, you can count them on the fingers of your two hands. And with the Android, you have thousands of devices, and making sure it works on all of them is a nightmare.
It's painful.
I would imagine.
In fact, Koala kind of works. I have it on my other Android device, but it's never perfect. It crashes. Sometimes it doesn't even, like when you pitch stuff, it just goes out of tune for whatever reason. And it's not the app, it's the system that goes, the whole song goes out of pitch.
And that's why if you're a musician, if you're a producer, I think an iOS device and an iPhone is just, because you never know when you're gonna need some cool app for your workflow, and the chances of it even being available on Android are pretty slim.
Something that we missed, I think, is that we were thinking about why to use an iPad is that you can use it with your system, with your main system as a sound module. So you just hook up the iPad. If you have a Mac, it's super easy. It's just an audio interface.
Yep.
And if you have a PC, they have some apps. Studio Max is what I use. It's kind of a VST. And you can use MIDI from Ableton, and it's kind of external input. You know, external instruments is... but in another form. So you can just use the iPad and they synth as a VST.
Totally. I've got a video from 2 years ago where I show how to actually, like, you're totally right with the Mac. You just connect it and it shows up as an audio interface. You just set it as an input in Ableton and you can record whatever it is from your iPad. And I haven't done the MIDI thing, but there is a MIDI setup utility on the Mac OS too. So I would imagine it's pretty easy to set it up without even getting the Studio Max MUX, right? It was Studio MUX, which
I think they're the same as Touchable.
Really?
Same
true.
people as the Chomplr. Yeah.
Anyways, that was super dope, man. I appreciate you joining the stream again and checking out some iPad apps.